this video, we will go through the whole cube, the 4x4, in great detail in each step. If you find that this is too long, I have a 4-part series in my description box below. In order to fix the 4x4, you need to first know and be familiar with the 3x3 in order to fix the 3x3. If you don't know how to do the 3x3 yet, have a look in the description box below to a tutorial that I have there so that you can learn the 3x3. In order to understand and complete the 4x4 cube, we will first have to look at the 3x3. In order to do the 4x4, you will have to understand how to do the 3x3 first, because a lot of the things that you do in the 4x4 is what you've learned in the 3x3. The first thing you do is you create this 4x4 to look like a 3x3. These center pieces will start looking like a 3x3, with the edge pieces being like the 3x3 on this side. We're going to create this looking like a 3x3 in order then to complete it. But in order to understand how to do that, we first have to look at the differences between the two. The 3x3, the center is stationary. The center shows you what that side would be, whereas in the 4x4 they are not stationary. All these four can move independent from one another, so you will have to understand where each color go in order to complete this 4x4. In order to complete the 4x4, you first have to create the center square block so that it looks like your white. Now I normally start with the white. Your first side center is normally the quickest because it doesn't matter how you move it, you're not going to affect any of the other sides because they haven't been solved yet. So let's start with this side. There's a white on the front. I simply just move it up next to this one. Once you have two that's correct on the same side, move it to the left hand side so it's vertical on the left hand side, which means that you have free movement on your right hand side without affecting those that you've already created and corrected. So here's another white. If I move these two again to the left hand side, that one I need to slide in there. So because this is the white side and I can't affect anything else, you can simply just turn it to the right side and turn it up into the right position. Now that you have three there, if I simply bring this one that's at the front up and I push it in there, it's going to kick that one out. So in order not to kick that one out, I need to move this one to the top left of my front side, below those two that's already correct. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix that one to the side here, and on the front I'm going to fix them, put them next to one another, and then simply slide them into the top next to those two that's already correct, so that I don't affect those two. So this one, the one on the front, needs to be below those two that's already correct, and that one needs to be on the top right corner, so that when I slide it down, it slides in next to this one. Then I simply turn my front and I slide it back up next to those four. Now I have my first side completed. Opposite my white is my yellow. There's already one yellow, but it might not be. There might not be a yellow there already, so you just need to know that opposite the white would be a yellow. So again, I move it to my top left corner so that I have free movement on the right hand side. On my front here I have another yellow. That one I need to move to the top left below that one, so that I can move it freely on this right hand side without affecting my white pieces. So even though there's nothing there like the white side that's correct, I need to move that piece down, which is going to mess up my white. I turn this yellow into the right spot next to on the right hand side, and then when I slide it up by fixing it next to that one, my white is fixed again. So now again I place these two on the left hand side so that I have free movement on the right hand side. Now I go and look for another yellow. There's another yellow. So again, these two I move so that they are above this one, and I put that one in the top left corner, so that when I slide this right side down to go and fetch it, that one can slide back in without affecting these two. So I bring these two to the front, I turn the front to the right, and I slide that one up next to its friends. Now I have a hook again on my top left corner. I need to go and find my yellow. There's another yellow. The hook needs to be on the top left corner, and this one, I can't leave it there and just slide it simply up into that spot, because it will kick that one out and it will mess my white at the bottom. So I place this one again on the front left beneath these two that are already correct. Then I slide this one down next to it on the front. I slide it to the top on the right, so it lies on the right hand side. And then when I slide it up, it slides next to the two that I've already completed, and on the opposite side my white is still fine. Now we're going to turn so that the white is on the right hand side and the yellow is on the left hand side. The reason why I do that is so that I can move up and down here on the side without affecting my white and my yellow that's already completed. Now again, because I have no blocks as centers, as solid centers, I can place them anywhere for the first time. So my first block being red in this case, because two are already together, I can place this side as my red side, as long as my white is on my right and my yellow is on the left. So now I just need to go and find another red. There's another two reds. So what I do is, let's place these two next to those two. Those two need to be on my left side so that I have free movement on my right side. I'm simply going to slide these two up into that spot. The first thing I do is, even though I don't need to do it with the red, because I'm not going to mess anything else up, because the blue and the orange and the green have not been fixed, I'm just going to repeat the process just for the ease of understanding. I'm going to slide this side down next to the front two. I'm going to spin it so that these two that I want to slide in fit next to the top two. Now my red side is complete. Now if my white is at the top and my red is in the front, to the right is a blue always. So even though there's already two blue there, I need to turn them so that they're on the left hand side, so that my white is on the right and my yellow is on the left. My blue is then on the left, and I need to go and find the other blues, which is currently at the bottom, to slide into this spot, because this needs to be my blue side. So in order to do that, there's one. I can place it, even if it's on the opposite side, I can place it beneath those two. Then I simply bring this side right down to fit next to that one, slide it once so that I can slide that one back up twice to slide in next to its friend. My white is still correct, my yellow is still correct, and on this side my red is still correct. Now I have three blues. I place that, like before, my blues in a hook at the top left corner. Now on the bottom side I see is another blue. That blue I need to place in the top left corner. So I simply spin the side so that that blue slides in and sits beneath my correct two on the left. This one I'm going to bring down so that it slides in next to this one that I need to take up. I spin this bottom so that it sits on the right hand side, so that when I bring it up, I simply slide it into place. So my white is still correct, my yellow is still correct, my red is correct, my blue is correct. So if my white is at the top and I have my red here, next to the red to the right is a blue, and next to the blue is an orange. So currently I only have one orange there, but we know that this side needs to be orange. All these greens need to be moved to this side. So again, I place my orange in the top left corner with my white on the right, my yellow on this side, and then there's my blue. So there is my first one that's correct. It's in the top left corner. I'm going to place these two over there, spin it, so I have a hook. So these two green ones I'm going to bring in next to my orange. I'm going to spin it 180 degrees so that these two have moved to the right hand side, so that when I slide it up, it slides right into the one that's already correct. Now I turn this so that I have a hook on the top left corner. Here's my last block that needs to slide in. That one needs to be on the top left corner beneath those two. Then I, like before, just slide the right side down next to it, fixing it at the front, turn it and slide it up next to those two. So now if I look at my cube, my white is correct. Opposite my white is the yellow that's correct. Then I have my red. To the right of my red is blue. To the right of my blue is orange. And to the right of the orange is the green. In order to pair my edges, I need to find these sides so that they match up with one another. So for example, a red with a red, and they need to be next to one another, so that when I take my 3x3 again, we've now completed the centers. Now we need to finish these side or edge pieces so that they look the same, so that I can make a 3x3. Once I've done the edges, pairing my edges on the 4x4, it would have turned my cube into a 3x3. There would only be a few extra parities then on the 4x4 that you don't have on the 3x3. But for now, we're only pairing the edges. So it doesn't matter which colors you work on. Let's start on a blue and a white. There's a blue and a white. I'm going to place a marker there just to make it easy to see what I'm showing. And there's a blue and a white. What we need to do is we need to find pieces that would pair up with one another. Blue and a white and a blue and a white. Those two friends need to be on the same face, on the same side. You need to see both of them at the same time. However, they cannot be on the same level. There they are next to one another. That should not be. You should not be able to see both blues. You would see one blue and one white, and the way you do that is it would be on two different levels. In order to fix this so that they are in position to pair up with one another, we first need to take this right one to the back, turn it around and bring it down so that it lands on this side here at the bottom. Either it can be at the top layer like this, one left one on the top layer and right one on the bottom layer, or left one in the bottom layer and right one at the top layer, as long as they're not on the same level or layer. Now the way you do that is you take this side, your right side, and you spin it twice so that that piece lands up on the back. Then I bring that piece up to the top. Now it's on my back side at the top, and I turn it around to the right side again where I was, and I bring it down to the bottom. So there's my blue and my white, there's my blue and my white, and they're on two different levels, with the blue side showing here and the white side showing there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this one simply in next to that one. Then we're going to bring it to the top and lay it down here at the front. But when we do this level or this step, we have to make sure that these two on the top level at the back are not paired already, because what's going to happen is those are going to come down the side and they're going to finish up here in this place. But I'm going to split them so that I can fix my center pieces again. I'll show you what I mean. If I slide this one to the left, we've paired them immediately. Now I need to bring it up to the top. And now on the top layer, I slide my top to the front, and I bring this side down to the bottom, my left side down to the bottom. But now my centers are messed up, so I need to fix my centers. So if I turn to the side, I can see there's my blue and I simply just slide that blue into place to fix my centers. So I have my first pair that's matched, but I've broken up whatever was in the back here. So whenever you want to fix your pairs here on the front, make sure that the top back two are not paired, like those. Now you can simply take any of the next colors. Here we have a blue and an orange. There we have a blue and an orange. If I simply just slide it down to this side so that they're on the same side, again they've fallen to be on the same layer or level. So this right side, once again, I'm going to turn it to the back twice. I'm going to lift it up so it lands on the top back corner. I'm going to turn my top to the right, and I'm going to bring it down the side. Now I have them on two different levels. I simply fix them into place here on the left now. But first I have to check that these two are not paired already. And as you can see, it's my blue and my whites. They're already paired. So simply what I do is I move anything else into position there that's not been paired already. There's my top back corner, my top back edge, opposite this side. So again, what I do is I just simply slide these two in, pairing them on the side. I bring them up and I bring them to the front. Now I bring my left side down and I fix my center. Now I've paired those two, but I've broken up those two that was originally at the back. Yeah, I see a red and a white. I'm going to place a marker there so that you can see clearly. And there I see a red and a white. So I place my marker there. I simply bring this side to the right. I bring it down. You can see they're sitting on the same layer. I just take this one to the back, fix it at the back by bringing it up to the top, turn it to the right, slide it down at the bottom, and now the two are on the same face but on two different layers. I need to make sure that these two are not paired properly, and they're not. It's an orange and a white and a green and a white. So I can go ahead and slide these and pair them next to one another on the left hand side. I simply bring it up to the top, slide it to the front, bring my left side down to the front, and I fix my centers. Now I keep on repeating this process until I've got all my edges paired with one another. Now that we've paired all our edges, we might find a situation where two pairs have not been paired together. For example, there's my yellow and my orange, and my yellow and my orange. I'll place a mark on that. And then on the same side, I have my red and my green, and my red and my green. Now, if we keep and use the cube like we did up until now, where they are on separate layers, and we just simply fix them on the side, pair them on the side and take them to the top like we've done until now, we are going to mess up these back pieces that have already been paired. So we are going to pair these two at the same time on a different way. And the way you do that is these two cannot be on separate layers. So for example, my orange and my yellow cannot be like before on separate layers. We need to repeat the process by taking it to the back, turning around at the back, bringing it to the front so they are on the same layer. So I turn my right twice, I bring my right up at the top, I turn my top to the right, and I bring this one down, my right side down. So now my matching pairs are on the same layer. There's my orange and my yellow, and my orange and my yellow. There's my red and my green, and my red and my green. Now that they're on same layers, we're going to pair them together at the same time. The way we do that is we're going to separate these two layers by turning the bottom two layers to the right. Then I want you to keep an eye just on these two where I've placed my markers. We are going to fix them here at the front, these two, turning them around and then sliding them back into place. So these two with the markers will eventually end up here paired on the left hand side, and the red and the green would be paired on the right hand side with my center still fixed. So we slide and we separate these two. There's my two still together and these two are still together. I slide my bottom two layers to the right hand side. Now I lift my right side up to the top. So that one goes to the top so long. Then I bring this one to the bottom. My front, I turn anti-clockwise. Then I bring the top to the right, bringing them opposite one another. Then I bring my right side down to the front. I turn my front horizontal and I simply fix my bottom two layers. Now my centers are complete. I've paired these two and I've paired those. Now that you've paired all your edges, all you need to do is you need to fix it like you do the 3x3. So if I look at my 3x3, there are my centers matching. Those two edges count as one edge on my 3x3. They are now the same. Those two are there. Those two are there. There's my green. Now I need to fix this one and solve it like I do with my 3x3 by first making a white cross. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this because by this time you would know how to do your 3x3. You simply slide your white pieces into position next to your white side, your white center, like you would do a normal 3x3. And there's my white cross. Now that you have your white cross, you look at your corner pieces and you solve it exactly like you did with your corner pieces on the 3x3. Turn the bottom down, down, fixing it on the side, lifting it up. There's two edge pieces. Now I have the blue and the red. Here's the blue and the red. Slide it into place. Bring it up. There's my orange and my green. Okay, now I've completed my white side, exactly like I did with my 3x3. Now as with your 3x3, you simply turn this upside down, and instead of just looking at your first two layers like you did with your 3x3, you will look at your first three layers. But you still just move these two as if it's one piece. So we're completing this first three layers like we did with our 3x3. By following the same way. Now we simply complete the first three layers like what we did with our 3x3 by following the same algorithm in order to fix our first three layers, just like you did with your 3x3. Now my first three layers are complete on the 4x4. Here's my white side, my yellow center, my first three layers. Now that your white side is complete and your first three layers, you finish the center piece of the yellow side exactly like you did with the 3x3 by creating a yellow cross. So just like your 3x3, you're going to have a look and you're going to find this centerpiece in 4 different ways. Either you're going to find it with ignoring your corner pieces, you're going to find it with a yellow dot in the middle. There's your yellow dot, counting those 4 pieces as just one yellow center. You can find it in a hook, which of course need to be in your top left corner, like with your 3x3. You can find it in a horizontal line, or you can find it in a plus sign or a cross already. So just like with your 3x3, you complete this by turning the front to the right, right side up, top, right side down, top, and you bring this down. Now there's your hook, which you complete like you do with your 3x3 by turning your front to the right, top, now you've got your horizontal line. You repeat this until you've got your cross. Now, there's my yellow cross, just like I would have with my 3x3. Completing the 4x4, you might get to a parity that you don't get in the 3x3, where when you're completing your cross on the yellow side, these 2 edges are flipped the wrong way around. Now, the algorithm in order to fix that is quite a long one, so I'm going to break it out into 3 different sections for ease of remembrance. What you do is your right side and your left side, you turn independently from one another. Every time you turn the right side, you turn your top twice. Every time you turn your left side, you turn your front twice. And you follow one after the other. So, let me show. Take your right side, you turn it down. You turn your top twice. Take your left side, you turn it down, you turn your front twice. You take your left side, you turn it back, you turn your top twice, your front twice. You take your right side, you turn it back twice, and you turn your top twice. Now up until there, that's your first part of remembering this algorithm. But remember, on the last time when you're turning your right side up, it's not just once, it's twice. Now the second part of this algorithm is up once on your right side, top twice, down on your right side, top twice. Now the third part of your algorithm, front twice, bringing up a white line. Now you're going to have I call it an arrow pointing that way. That arrow you turn twice, bringing up your white line, and you fix your white line to the bottom. Now you flip these 2 that were originally the wrong way around, you flip them correct way up. Now that my cross is complete on my yellow side, I need to finish these 4 corners. Now, I do my corners differently from many other people. So I've done this in my 3x3, but I will repeat this step in the 4x4 just to explain my way of doing it. So if you look at the corner pieces and you name it 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. You go and count how many of your corners are already completed. There are 0 corners completed on this cube. So I need to make sure that my front left one on the 0 side have a yellow. So this one is in the correct spot because that one shows that there are 0 corners that are yellow because there's a yellow at on my 0 side. If I look at this one, there's a yellow on my number 2. If that's 0, 1, 2, there's a yellow on my number 2. Now that one, if that one was in the front left, it will show that there are already 2 that's got yellow corners at the top. But in this case, as it is, my front left need to be 0, yellow, to show that there are 0 corners. And then you do this algorithm. You turn your right to the back, top away, right forward, top away, right away, top twice, revealing a white line and bringing my white line down. Now I have one corner that's yellow. So 0, 1, 2. My 1 needs to be on my front left, showing that there's only one corner that's already complete and yellow. So this one needs to be in the front left, and I just repeat my same algorithm by saying right side back, top away, right side forward, top away, right side away, top twice, fixing my white line and bringing it to the front. Now all 4 corners are correct. You just repeat this algorithm until all 4 are complete. Now when I look and I count that I have 1, 2 yellow corners, that's at the top, I need to go and find a corner piece here that's got on the number 2 side a yellow spot. So if that is 0, 1, 2, this number 2 needs to be yellow to show that there are 2 yellow corners at the top. This front left currently shows that it's on a 0, 0, 1, 2. So that one's 0, which means that there are 0. But in fact, I've got 2, so that one is incorrect. So if I look at this side, there's 0, 1, 2. My 2 is got a yellow, and I have 2 yellows at the top. So this one needs to be on my front left. And I repeat my same algorithm by turning the right away, top away, right side forward, top away, right side away, top twice to fix my white line and bring my white line down. Now I have one corner that's correct and yellow on the left front corner. That one shows 0, 1, 2, that the number 1, because there's only one corner that's yellow, is on the front left. So I repeat that same algorithm until all 4 corners are correct, making sure that this front left one is in the right place. So right away, top away, right side forward, top away, right side away, top twice, revealing my white line and bringing it down. Here again, I have one yellow corner that's correct on the left bottom side. So because it's only one corner that's yellow, it's 0, 1, 2. That one needs to be yellow, and it's in my front left corner. So I repeat that algorithm until I've completed all 4 corners, making them all yellow. So it's right away, top away, right forward, top away, right away, bringing up a white line and fixing my white top. Fixing my white line and correcting it. Now I've completed my yellow side. Just like with the 3x3, now that you've completed your yellow side, you look at these corner pieces and you fix the corner pieces into place. So if we look at this one, there's an orange and a red, blue and a green, red and an orange, green and a blue. So we fix any of these corners in its right spot. There's the green and the red, and these 2 need to be on my back left corner. If we find a case where both are correct, they would both be on the back side of your cube. But as it is, this one is correct and this one is correct. I'm going to place a marker on this corner here, just so that you can see it easily and follow it easily. It's going to work exactly like with our 3x3. So you bring that side to the front, to the back, turn twice, finish it there, and then you're going to look at this side. Okay, so just like with your 3x3, you turn this to the front, bottom, kick it back, turn your back twice, kick up a yellow here. Once you've kicked up a yellow here, we're looking at this one now. This one needs to be front, bottom, back, turn the back twice, finishing it over there and fixing your white line. There we see these 2 corner pieces are the same color. So we turn that top until we find its corresponding center, fixing this side. Just like with the 3x3, this needs to be in the back corner. on the back side of your cube. So those two are the correct ones. We're going to have a look at this one, turn it around at the bottom, finish it there, and then we're going to look at the front side here, repeating the same process as the 3x3 in order to fix all our corner pieces. I'm going to place my marker on this back right one. So just like with the 3x3, we turn this to the front, to the bottom, turn it to the back, turn the back twice, finishing it on that side and kicking up a yellow corner here. Now we look at the front left, bottom one, and we repeat that same algorithm as what we did in the 3x3, turning the back twice, having a white line here, and fixing my white line. Now all our corner pieces are matching: reds, blues, orange and green, and we simply turn it to its corresponding centers. So there's my greens, there's my red, my blue and my orange. So now it is exactly like what you found with the 3x3, where all my centers are, my edge pieces are incorrect, they are not matching with my rest of my cube, and you fix it exactly like what you do with your 3x3. Now my 3x3, I explain it that I call it my Mini Cooper, because I create two lines here which I bring to the front, I spin it around at the front and I slide it back up into position, and I repeat that until all my centers are complete. Now because all my center pieces are not matched, it doesn't matter which piece is at the back. If I have one where they are correct and where they match the complete side and I have a solid side, that would go at the back. But as it is, all of them are incorrect. None of them are on the right side. So it doesn't matter which one is at the back at the moment. And now I create my Mini Cooper by bringing up a white line, spinning my front twice. There's my white line. I bring this white line to the left side here. I bring my left side to the front. I bring my right side to the front. I reverse my Mini Cooper back in by sliding that up and sliding that up, bringing my white line to the front and bringing it down. It's exactly like what you would do with your 3x3. Now that we have our edge pieces done and we've completed our sides, in the 4x4 you get a parity that you don't get in your 3x3, where instead of just one side being correct, you get two sides that's correct. When you have it like this, your two wrong sides, there and there, one need to be on the back and one need to be on your right hand side with your yellow at the top, and then a solid at the front and a solid on the left, and you complete this algorithm in order to complete it. So you turn your first two layers at the bottom to the right twice, then your two right sides you turn to the back twice. Now you turn your top twice, just the top layer, not both layers. You turn your second layer on the right twice. You turn your last layer, your fourth layer, your top twice, only one layer. Then you bring these two sides twice down and you fix your side. Now what you will have is one side is solid, there is an incorrect edge, there is an incorrect edge, and there is an incorrect edge. Now you've turned this one again into a 3x3 where it's only one side that is solid. That solid side goes into the back. Now I repeat what I call the Mini Cooper, which is my front. I turn twice, revealing a white line in the front, bring that white line to the left. Now bring my white to the front, my right to the front. I turn them around at the front and I slide them back into position. I bring this white one to the front and fix my white side. Now what I've got is incorrect side, incorrect side, incorrect side, with again just one solid back. just like with my 3x3. And I keep on repeating it until I've solved all my sides. So once again, that solid side goes into the back, and I repeat my Mini Cooper algorithm, which is bringing my white up to the front, bring my white to the left, slide my left to the front, slide my right to the front, making 2 lines like a Mini Cooper, spin it upside down, and slide those 2 back into position, bring my white line to the front, spinning it twice, and now I've got my cube complete. When you've completed your 4x4, you might find a parity on the 4x4 that you don't get on the 3x3, where your edge pieces are correct, but your centers are correct on 2 sides. So here's a solid, here's an incorrect, and here's a solid. They are on opposite sides. So when you find it like that, you keep your one solid on the right and your other solid on the left-hand side. Right and left. Now what I do is I follow this algorithm until I've completed this cube. By turning your bottom 2 layers, you turn it twice to the right. My right 2 layers, I turn twice. Then my top layer, only the top layer, not both layers, I turn twice. Now, this second row, I turn twice, 1, twice. My top layer only, I turn twice. My 2 right sides, I turn twice. And I fix my sides. Now I've completed my cube. Well done.